Hello everyone, I'm Aratrika Bhaumik and I welcome you all to another episode of Courts Today on LiveLaw, where we update you about all the important legal developments that took place across the country today. We will begin with developments from the Supreme Court and then cover High Courts and other subordinate courts. If you like our content, please do not forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Union Minister for Law and Justice Kiran Rijiju has written a letter to the Chief Justice of the High Court based upon a review of the status of functioning of the existing fast-track courts and fast-track special courts set up under centrally sponsored scheme for expeditious trial of rape and POCSO Act cases. The letter shared concerns over the ever-increasing pendency of cases and the underutilization of the budgets allocated for the fast-track special court scheme. Senior Advocate Indira Jaisingh has written a letter addressed to the Chief Justice of India, Justice U.U. Lalit, and his companion judges urging that the proceedings being held before the constitution benches in the Supreme Court be live streamed, as it is a part of the fundamental right of every citizen to have freedom of information. Jaisingh in her letter expressed the issues are of great importance which are being discussed, debated and decided upon by the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court of India has held that the right to establish an education institute is a fundamental right under Article 19, Clause 1, Subclause G of the Constitution of India, and that reasonable restrictions on such a right can be imposed only by a law and not by an executive instruction. The judgment was passed by a bench comprising Justices B.R. Gavai and P.S. Narasimha in a batch of petitions filed by the Pharmacy Council of India challenging the orders of the High Courts of Delhi, Chhattisgarh and Karnataka, whereby moratorium issued by the Pharmacy Council of India on opening new colleges for 5 years was set aside. The Supreme Court of India today refused to entertain a petition seeking common dress code in all registered and recognized educational institutions for staff and students. At the outset, a bench of Justices Hemant Gupta and Sudhanshu Dhulia commented, and I quote here, "This is not a matter which has to come to court." When the court expressed that it was not inclined to take up the matter, the petitioner sought permission to withdraw the petition, which was consequently allowed. In a significant development, the Supreme Court today sought the central government's response in an appeal filed against the split verdict of the Delhi High Court in the marital rape case on the validity of Exception 2 to Section 375 of the Indian Penal Code. A bench of Justices Ajay Rastogi and B.V. Nagaratna issued notice in the plea challenging Exception 2 to Section 375, which essentially provides that charges of rape cannot be attracted against a man who has non-consensual sex with his wife. The validity of the provision had earlier been challenged before the Delhi High Court, and a division bench of the Delhi High Court comprising Justices Rajiv Shagdar and C. Hari Shankar had delivered a split verdict on May 11th, while Justice Shagdar had struck down the provision as being unconstitutional, while Justice Shankar had upheld the same. We have made a detailed video on today's hearing, the link to which has been given in the description box below. The Supreme Court of India today suggested that the Union government create a web portal containing the details of the foreign universities where the Ukraine returnee Indian medical students can complete their courses as per the academic mobility program approved by the National Medical Commission. A division bench comprising Justices Hemant Gupta and Sudhanshu Dhulia suggested that there should be a transparent system and that the web portal could give details of the fees and the number of seats in the alternative foreign universities which are compatible. Solicitor General of India Tushar Mehta said that he is not taking an adversarial stand and sought time to take instructions from the Union government regarding the suggestions of the Supreme Court. The case was accordingly adjourned till next Friday, that is September 23rd. The Supreme Court today resolved its order in the petition filed by Times Now anchor Navika Kumar seeking clubbing of the multiple FIRs and complaints registered against her over the remarks made by Nupur Sharma about Prophet Muhammad on the Times Now channel. A bench comprising Justices M.R. Shah and Krishna Murari heard the matter. On August 8, the court had granted interim protection to her on the FIRs while issuing notice in the petition. The Supreme Court of India has imposed Rs 10 lakh costs on applicants for attempting to seek review of a judgment under the garb of miscellaneous applications. On perusing the application, the bench of Justices B.R. Gavai and P.S. Narasimha observed that they are an attempt to seek review of the judgment and order under the garb of miscellaneous applications. The court thus imposed costs of Rs 10 lakhs each on the applicants. The Supreme Court has orally remarked today that an advocate filing a writ petition for fee is unprofessional. An advocate filing a writ petition for fee is unprofessional, a bench headed by Justice Hemant Gupta orally said. This profession is a noble profession, don't make it a business, the bench remarked further. The bench also commented that the proper remedy in such a situation might be a civil suit than a writ petition. The Delhi police has told the High Court that Alt News co-founder Mohammad Zubair's devices, which was seized during investigation in connection with the 2018 tweet case, are under analysis with the Forensic Science Laboratory Rohini. However, he can approach the lower court for their release on superdari on completion of the analysis. The city police has further said that the data is to be recovered and analysed from the seized devices with respect to the 2018 tweet and other similar nature tweets done by Zubair if retrieved. The police has thus sought dismissal of Zubair's petition, which praised that any device or document seized by the Delhi police being beyond the allegation in the FIR be forthwith restored to him. The Kerala High Court today stayed the order transferring the Principal District and Sessions Judge Kozhikode S. Krishna Kumar, who passed the controversial provocative dress order in Civic Chandran's case, to the post of Presiding Officer Labour Court Kollam. Division bench consisting of Justices A. K. Jayashankaran Nambiar and Justice Muhammad Niaz CP, while admitting the appeal, has stayed the transfer order till 26 September. The Delhi High Court today issued notice on a plea filed by JNU scholar Sheila Rashid seeking unambiguous and unequivocal apology from Zee News and its then anchor Sudhir Chaudhary in relation to a program aired by the news channel in November 2020. Sheila Rashid has sought modification of an order passed by the News Broadcasters and Digital Standards Authority dated March 31st to the extent that the authority had refused to direct the broadcaster to air an apology while ruling that the show had lacked objectivity, impartiality and had presented only one side of the story. The High Court today sought response from the NBDSA, Zee News and Sudhir Chaudhary within a period of 6 weeks, while posting the matter for further hearing on February 23, 2023. The Kerala High Court today directed that during the time taken by the state to establish and set up the machinery in the state to contain the menace of stray dogs, prompt, efficient and free medical assistance shall be provided to all victims of dog bites by government hospitals attached to government medical colleges. The court also added that it was a constitutional mandate to safeguard the well-being of the citizens of the country. The division bench of the High Court, while directing so, also observed that adequate medical and vaccine supply shall also be ensured at these hospitals. The Allahabad High Court recently directed the CBI to probe a kidnapping case against two persons, that is two accused persons, after they allegedly said that they were being implicated in false case at the behest of 35 UP police personnel. The division bench thus ordered on a writ plea moved by the accused petitioners belonging to a Dalit family seeking a fair investigation into the allegedly fake kidnapping cases registered against them. It was a primary submission of the petitioners that the police officials of District Mathura were instrumental in lodging a large number of fraudulent and false cases either against the petitioners or his brother, so as to pressurize them to compromise in earlier cases. Thank you. Keep watching Courts Today on LiveLaw for more such updates.